The fine merit is our cultural currency representing our overall cultural values, including an official certifications for your title.
Queen Camilla never saw this coming. It all started with Kate taking a step back from royal duties. At first, it seemed like a personal health break, but it didn't take long for people inside the palace to notice the shift. Camilla, who had slowly grown into a more powerful role beside King Charles, wasn't too happy with the attention Kate was still getting, even while out of the spotlight. Behind the scenes, Camilla began pushing for more control over events, appearances, and influence. That didn't sit well with Kate, who, even without a title like Queen, still holds a strong public image and deep support from the people. Tension began building. Small things turned into bigger issues. Rumors of icy exchanges between Camilla and Kate became more frequent. Some staffers started feeling the pressure, choosing sides quietly as the divide between the two women grew. But what really pushed things over the edge was when King Charles stepped in. People expected him to keep the peace, but instead he shocked everyone. He wasn't just picking sides, he was making a statement.
It's not setting it up perfectly, it's not clearing your house away so you've got a perfect studio set up, but it's really capturing those moments that feel real to you and that capture a moment or an expression. Or a feeling, I suppose.
Since stepping into the role of Princess of Wales in 2022, Kate Middleton has only grown more popular. From the start, Kate showed up with quiet confidence. Her grace during formal events, her calm presence during difficult times, and the way she made even stiff royal traditions feel approachable, these moments didn't go unnoticed. People began to see her not just as a future queen, but as a relatable figure, a woman balancing royal duty with motherhood, someone who listened more than she talked, someone who looked comfortable kneeling beside a child in a school just as much as she did standing next to the king in full royal attire. Her charity work spoke volumes. Kate has made early childhood development one of her core missions. She didn't just visit nurseries for photo ops, she pushed for research, launched awareness campaigns, and brought experts together to tackle the roots of emotional and mental well-being in kids. She also focused on maternal health, mental health awareness, and addiction recovery. And her approach wasn't flashy. It was steady, honest, and consistent. And then there were the viral moments. Kate sitting on the floor playing with toddlers, hugging nurses at hospitals, taking a child's drawing and keeping it, laughing with school kids. Even her fashion was praised for being elegant and relatable. Each interaction made her feel more real to the public, not just a royal figure waving from balconies. Slowly but surely, people started using words like modern Diana or Diana II. Not because Kate was copying the late princess, but because she showed the same kind of warmth, sincerity, and natural connection with people. It didn't feel like she was trying to win approval. She already had it. And all of this came while Kate was navigating personal challenges too, raising 3 children, dealing with constant media attention, and recently taking time to focus on her health. Yet even during her absence, the public conversation never turned negative. Instead, there was widespread concern and support. That says a lot. But while Kate's star kept rising, someone else inside the palace wasn't applauding, at least not wholeheartedly.
Yes, I slept on the street for 2 nights. I did.
For Queen Camilla, the journey to the crown has been anything but smooth. Her path has always been tied to controversy, and no matter how much time passes, there are parts of her story the public can't seem to forget. Her relationship with King Charles remains one of the most divisive parts of royal history. It reignited painful memories for many, especially those who still view Princess Diana as the people's true queen. Even after Diana's passing, Camilla struggled to gain acceptance. When she finally married Charles in 2005, the palace made it clear she wouldn't take the title Princess of Wales out of respect for Diana's memory. That alone says how delicate the situation was, and still is. Public opinion has always been split. Some have warmed up to her, others have not. To her credit, Camilla has put in the work. She supported causes around domestic violence, literacy, and osteoporosis, especially since her mother suffered from the disease. She's been consistent in showing up for her causes. She's also maintained a relatively low profile, rarely stirring up drama, but despite her efforts, the shadow of the past follows her. Whenever Camilla takes center stage, there's a quiet tension. She may be queen now, but there are people who still haven't fully accepted it. Every appearance is scrutinized, every gesture compared to Diana or Kate, and that quiet comparison became louder once Kate started gaining more praise and affection from the public. Kate didn't just rise, she did it without controversy, without baggage, and without ever being seen as a threat. She embodied everything people wanted to see in a royal: grace without drama, warmth without pretense, and class without scandal. For Camilla, that contrast was hard to ignore. Even within the palace walls, where hierarchy should rule over public opinion, things started to shift. Kate became a powerful symbol of the monarchy's future. Camilla, on the other hand, often represented its complicated past. And now, with Kate capturing the world's affection so effortlessly, Camilla couldn't help but feel history repeating itself, except this time, she's the one being overshadowed.
It's lovely
It was
to
quite
see
a
you.
frosty journey.
I bet it
Yeah,
was.
sorry, we're a bit late, I'm afraid.
Perfectly okay. How's His Majesty?
He's fine, thank you very much.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to getting back to work.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
As Kate Middleton's popularity soared, Queen Camilla's team quietly kicked into motion. According to palace insiders, Camilla began increasing her number of public appearances. Some noted the sudden uptick in engagements that, while subtle, appeared to be strategically placed. Whether it was launching a new reading initiative or making surprise visits to local charities, Camilla was making sure her name stayed in the headlines. But it wasn't just about staying visible. Insiders suggest there were quiet efforts behind the scenes to shift the spotlight away from Kate. This wasn't some dramatic, obvious campaign. It was more about timing, tone, and presentation. There were whispers that Camilla's team occasionally pushed for events or announcements to be scheduled around Kate's appearances, diluting the attention Kate usually received. In some cases, it's been said that Camilla allegedly expressed frustration over how the media favored Kate, even when Kate wasn't present. Sources claim that during internal meetings, Camilla questioned why so much attention still revolved around the Princess of Wales. And while these concerns may have been shared in passing, the pattern didn't go unnoticed. There were even hints of tension during joint appearances. Observers close to royal events spoke of moments that felt off an extra long pause before a compliment, a missed handshake, or a cold glance exchanged during a group photo. But enough to make those who were present shift uncomfortably. One talked about moment came during a formal charity dinner. Kate's, attending in a more limited role due to her health recovery, received extended applause from the audience when she was acknowledged. Camilla, seated just feet away, looked on without reacting. It was a small gesture, but in a room full of protocol and performance, it stood out. This kind of passive-aggressive energy began to form cracks in the palace's polished exterior. Staff members noticed. Some quietly shifted their loyalty toward Kate, recognizing her influence with the public and her calm, consistent approach. Others stayed neutral, trying to avoid the tension altogether. But no matter how quiet Camilla's moves were, they started adding up, and eventually they reached the one person who couldn't ignore them any longer. For King Charles, this wasn't just about palace gossip. It was about preserving the future of the monarchy. And when he saw how public admiration for Kate continued to grow, he understood exactly what that meant. Kate represents more than just a daughter-in-law. To Charles, she's a stabilizing force, the one royal who manages to modernize the family's image without ever threatening tradition. And that makes her invaluable to the crown. Behind closed doors, Charles made it clear he won't tolerate internal conflict that risks damaging the family's image. Those close to the situation suggest that Charles didn't raise his voice. There was no dramatic outburst, but the message was firm and undeniable. He allegedly addressed Camilla directly, not to scold her, but to remind her of the bigger picture, that the crown isn't about competition, that public service and stability come before ego, and more importantly, that Kate's place in the royal structure isn't up for debate. Some insiders say this was the most assertive Charles had been in a while, not out of anger, but from a deep understanding that the monarchy can't afford public division, not now. He's waited his entire life to wear the crown, and he knows how fragile public trust can be. Allowing jealousy or rivalry to seep into the public eye would risk everything he's worked to protect. So he took action, not by removing anyone or issuing commands, but by drawing a quiet, powerful line, and one that says the monarchy must move forward. And Kate is a central part of that vision.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it's a bit crowded.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
No matter how much time has passed, Princess Diana's legacy still shapes the way the public views the royal family. Her image left an impression that hasn't faded, and now many see Kate Middleton as the one carrying that legacy forward. Kate's quiet strength, her dedication to family, and the way she connects with people, it all reminds royal watchers of Diana. From her public demeanor to the way she handles pressure, there's a clear echo of the late princess in how Kate operates, and that connection hasn't gone unnoticed. For Queen Camilla, this comparison has been both painful and unshakable. She spent decades working to reshape her public image, trying to step out of the shadow cast by Diana. But every time Kate is praised for her poise or compassion, the comparisons come back. Sources close to the family say Camilla feels that no matter how much she contributes, she's always up against an idealized memory, a memory that the public continues to protect fiercely. And with Kate naturally stepping into that admired role, it reopens old wounds. As public attention naturally shifts toward the younger generation, Kate's role in the monarchy is becoming more central. With each passing year, she's stepping more into a leadership position, not with force, but with quiet confidence. Even during her recent time out of the spotlight, the public didn't forget her. If anything, the concern and respect for her only grew. That says a lot about how deeply rooted Kate now is in the heart of the monarchy's image. So far, all signs suggest the monarchy is slowly but surely aligning itself with the latter. Kate and William's modern approach, their ability to stay grounded while holding up royal expectations, is exactly what the institution needs to survive in a changing world. And as more responsibilities fall to them, their influence will only grow. So now the question stands, is Queen Camilla's place in history at risk again? Or is this simply how royal power shifts in the modern age? Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.